Dear viewers, to the land of pyramids, Sphinx selfies, and the world's first recorded cat videos. Ancient Egypt. Okay, maybe not the cat videos, but there were a lot of cats. Today, we'll dive headfirst, or headdress first, into the wacky and wild world of ancient Egyptian mythology. Hold on to your sandals. It's gonna be a bumpy ride on a camel. First on our journey, meet the top dog. Cat. Whatever. Osiris. He was the god of life, death, the afterlife, and party planning on weekends. Poor Osiris had a bit of a mishap when his jealous brother Set tricked him into a coffin and chopped him into 14 pieces. Talk about family drama. But don't worry, his loving wife Isis found all the pieces, except one. We won't talk about which one. Moving on to a friendlier family dynamic, let's talk about Ra. This sun god had a head of a falcon and loved his shades, the original cool guy of ancient Egypt. He'd cruise across the sky in his sunboat, but it wasn't all smooth sailing. A serpent named Apophis tried to devour him daily. Talk about having a snake for a neighbor. Next, we have Anubis, the jackal-headed god of mummification. This guy loved wrapping things up, and we're not just talking about presents. Got a dead body. Anubis is your man, or god, or jackal. You get the point. And let's not forget about the world's first cat lady, Bastet. She was the goddess of cats, fertility, and dancing. If you were a cat in ancient Egypt, you were basically royalty. Move over, grumpy cat. So, dear viewers, next time someone calls you a crazy cat person, just tell them you're channeling your inner Bastet. And that's a wrap, or should I say, a mummy wrap, on our introduction to ancient Egyptian mythology. From falcon-headed sun gods to cat-loving goddesses, it's clear that the Egyptians knew how to keep things entertaining. Remember, this land of myth and legend has taught us many things. Be kind to your pets, watch out for jealous siblings, and never, ever accept coffin-shaped gifts from your relatives. Today, on Egyptian Rewind, where pharaohs played and priests prayed, we dive deep into the sands of time, ready for a ride on the Nile's wild side. Buckle up. First stop, the Nile. Not just a river, folks. It was Egypt's life juice, kind of like your morning coffee, but wetter. Thanks to the Nile's annual flood, Egyptians got rich soil, perfect for crops. They didn't need alarm clocks. The floodwaters took care of their wake-up calls. Pyramids, ancient Egypt's prime real estate. They weren't just fancy triangular barns or alien Wi-Fi hubs, but tombs for the big shots. The religion buffet of Egypt changed its menu quite often. From worshipping the sun, to animals, to pharaohs, these folks believed in divine diversity. Basically the ancient version of the more, the merrier. Let's meet the divine celebs. Osiris, the green-skinned god of the afterlife. Isis, the original Wonder Woman. And Horus, the falcon-headed guy who gave Eagle Eye a whole new meaning. Pharaohs were not just rulers, they were also rock stars in the religious world. They were seen as gods in designer robes. And let's not forget their accessories, those fancy headgears, ancient bling. Now, mummification. No, not mummification. Mummies weren't ancient action figures. They believed preserving bodies ensured a smooth ride to the afterlife. Also, they wanted to look their best when meeting Osiris. Random trivia. Ever thought of pulling an organ out of your nose? Well, Egyptians did. Brains were yanked out through the nose during mummification. Talk about a brainy trick. The Book of the Dead. Not an ancient horror novel. It was the traveler's guide for the afterlife. Basically, afterlife for dummies. Plot twist. Pharaoh Akhenaten changed the game. Said bye Felicia to old gods and introduced the sun disk, Aten. That's like unfriending everyone on social media and following only one cat meme page. And let's not forget the Sphinx, the ancient Egyptian mascot. half lion, half human, and 100% mysterious. Some say it's the original catfish. Back to the Nile. Without it, Egypt might have just been a massive sandbox. They relied on it for food, transportation, and arguably the world's first mud spa treatments. And that's a wrap on our whirlwind tour of ancient Egypt. From partying pharaohs to mysterious mummies. Hey folks, remember that time you tried to stare at the sun and everything went dark? Well, today we're gonna discuss the OG sun, Ra, the ancient Egyptian god who made sunburns and selfies with shades a thing. Now, Ra was not your typical god. While we humans squint at a tiny sun in the sky, the Egyptians had this dude, a falcon-headed god with a sun disk on his crown. Talk about being lit, literally. And oh boy, Ra had some drama. Forget those reality TV shows. Ra's daily life was a mix of Keeping Up with the Gods and Sunset Boulevard. Every day, this guy would sail across the sky in a boat. No, not for a vacation, but to light up the world. However, it wasn't just smooth sailing. He had to fight off the evil serpent Apophis, who wanted to gobble him up. It's like trying to enjoy a peaceful cruise while there's a sea monster wanting a piece of your divine cake. And let's be real, who wouldn't? It's a godly dessert. Now, legend says, every evening after the sunset, Ra would journey through the underworld. Kind of like his nightly routine before he lights up our world again. Kinda like us in our Netflix binges before bed. The ancient Egyptians had mad respect for Ra, temples, hymns, and probably the world's first line of sunscreen dedicated to him. Spec 3000, anyone? And get this, the pharaohs claimed to be descended from Ra, which is a splendid way to justify you wearing those fancy golden crowns and the bling. Oh, this old thing. It's just because my great-great-granddad was the sun, no biggie. But hey, let's give a shout-out to Ra for making sunny days, beach outings, and solar-powered calculators possible. We owe you one, big guy. So, the next time you enjoy a sunny day or struggle to read your car's dashboard in the glaring light, remember our feathery-headed friend Ra and maybe, just maybe, wear some sunscreen. That ancient SPF 3000 might not be available, but anything helps when you're dealing with the OG. Hey history buffs, ever had a family feud? Maybe over the last slice of pizza? Well, buckle up your chariots, because today we're diving deep into the wild family drama of our green-skinned buddy, Osiris. Osiris, a dashing god of the afterlife, with radiant green skin. Think Hulk, but make it Pharaoh. Osiris was the king of Egypt, and everyone loved him. I mean, who wouldn't? He taught humans laws, agriculture, and the art of looking fabulous in gold. But not everyone was a fan. Enter Set, his brother, who was always in the shadow, both literally and metaphorically. Kind of like that backup dancer who's a tad out of sync. Set was, let's just say, a little envious. And by little, I mean planning a treachery-level envious. He trapped Osiris in a coffin and threw him into the Nile. Talk about overreacting, right? Couldn't he just have unfriended him? But here's the twist. With the help of Isis, Osiris's wife, and by the way, a total boss, he got a magical resurrection. Think of it as the world's first extreme makeover. Unfortunately, the joy was short-lived. Set, in a fit of rage, chopped Osiris into 14 pieces. Drama level. Ancient Egyptian soap opera. But guess what? Our Queen Isis wasn't done. She searched high and low, found all his pieces, and with some magical help, brought him back to life. Again. There's dedication, and then there's Isis level of dedication. With a bit of divine intervention, Osiris and Isis had a son, Horus, who avenged his father by giving Set a taste of his own medicine. Oh, family reunions must have been awkward. Now, Osiris couldn't rule the living anymore because, you know, the whole being chopped into pieces thing. So, he became the king of the afterlife. In fact, if you were an ancient Egyptian, you'd hope to bump into him in the afterlife and perhaps share some ancient memes. So, there you have it, Osiris, the god of second chances, resilience, and well, coming together. Literally. The next time you're feeling down, remember Osiris's story. And hey, maybe keep a closer eye on your siblings. Let's soar into the tale of the sky god with the fiercest eyeliner in all of Egypt, Horus. And trust me, when it comes to family feuds, this guy's story is better than any reality TV show episode. So, a quick recap for those who missed our last episode. Horus's dad, Osiris, had some serious sibling rivalry with Uncle Set. You know, just the usual turning into a coffin and chopped into bits stuff. Drama level. Ancient Egyptian dynasty. Now back to our hero Horus. Born after some divine magic by his mom, Isis, he was, let's say, a bit peeved about the whole Uncle Set did what to dad situation. Growing up, Horus had two main goals. 1. Perfect that killer eyeliner look. 2. Take down Uncle Set and reclaim his dad's throne. Priorities, right? The two had epic battles. I mean, at one point, Set even ripped out one of Horus's eyes. But like any influencer who lost an accessory, Horus got a shiny new magical one. And let me tell you, this wasn't just any eye. It became the famous Eye of Horus, a symbol of protection, health, and, well, wicked makeup. Ever seen those Egyptian amulets or tattoos? Yep, all thanks to Horus's fashion-forward thinking. The climax, the two gods had to go to court. Yep, godly court. And guess the judge? Their grandpa, the sun god Ra. The verdict? Spoiler. Horus won, but with a catch. He got the throne, and Set, well, he was given the desert storms, which explains why desert picnics were never a thing. But Horus, being the stand-up god he was, decided to share the rule, proving that even in divine family drama, there's always room for growth and eyeshadow. So, next time you see a hawk in the sky, or you nail that winged eyeliner look, give a nod to Horus, the god who taught us the value of perseverance, family, however complicated, and always having your eye game on point. Anubis, who's a good god of mummification. What's up, history hounds? Today, we're fetching the tales of Anubis, the god with the most boopable snoot in all of Egypt. Now, Anubis wasn't your typical domestic doggo. He was part jackal, which is like if a dog decided to go goth. Decked in all black and totally owning the desert night vibes. Anubis had one of the most unique jobs among the Egyptian gods, the go-to guy for mummification. That's right, need someone to wrap up your loved one like the tightest burrito for the afterlife. Anubis was your guy. Why the jackal, you ask? Well, real jackals would lurk around graveyards, which, while kind of creepy, made them a symbol of death and the afterlife. Not to mention, they were probably the first ones to understand the phrase, "let sleeping dogs lie." But Anubis wasn't just about wrapping things up. He was also the original judge of your heart. And no, I'm not talking about that time he auditioned for Egypt's Got Talent. When you died, he'd weigh your heart against a feather. Light heart, you're good to go. Heavy heart? Well, let's just say there was a hungry beast called Amit waiting to snack on it. Talk about heartburn. Now, here's a fun fact. While many gods were all about the glitz and glam of palaces, Anubis was the humble god of tombs and cemeteries. He was literally the OG underdog. Plus, the whole black jackal look. Timeless. While other gods were figuring out their outfits, Anubis was like, black is my color, period. So, next time you're wrapping a gift or judging the weight of your dinner's burrito, give a little nod to Anubis, the god who taught us the importance of balance, heart, and that black never goes out of style. If you've ever looked at your cat and thought,
"Why do you act like you own the place?"
well, in ancient Egypt, they kind of did. Today, we're scratching behind the ears of everyone's favorite feline deity, Bastet. Bastet, or as I like to call her, the original Catwoman, started off as a lioness warrior goddess. Yep, not the cuddly kitten type. But like any good cat, she evolved. From a fierce lioness, she transformed into a domesticated cat goddess. Maybe she just wanted more naps and less roaring. She became the goddess of home, fertility, and childbirth. Kind of like the ancient Egyptian version of a perfect mom. But don't be fooled. Mess with her people, and she'd show her claws. Legend has it that during festivals in her honor, the party was so wild that the whole town would shake, kinda like my cat at 3 a.m. racing around the house. Speaking of parties, the ancient city of Bubastis was her main hangout. Imagine Woodstock but for cat lovers. Fantastic festival with singing, dancing, and probably a lot of laser pointers. And oh boy, cats were revered. Hurting one, even accidentally, was a big no-no. The ancient Egyptians probably had the first
"I break for cats"
chariot stickers. The connection between Bastet and cats was so strong that many families had statues or amulets of her to protect their homes. Basically, she was the ancient version of a security system. Beware of cat goddess signs, anyone. And between you and me, her popularity might be why your house cat acts like a deity. They remember the good old days. Bastet also had a softer side, though. She was the one you'd pray to if you wanted to have kids or protect them. Think of her as the celestial babysitter with whiskers. So next time your cat knocks something off a shelf or demands worship, I mean treats, remember they're just channeling their inner Bastet. Give them a break, or a treat, probably both. Welcome to ancient Egypt, a thoroughly funny tale. Today, we'll sail down the Nile and tickle your funny bones as we explore the tombs of history. Grab your sphinx-sized popcorn and let's go. Long, long ago, before Wi-Fi and cat videos, Egyptians were busy building cat statues. And, you know, the pyramids. But mostly cat statues. Cats ruled, quite literally. Meet King Nama, not to be mistaken for King Farmer. He was the chap responsible for uniting Upper and Lower Egypt, and his idea of a party was smiting his enemies. Talk about extreme party games. Fast forward through a timeline of pharaohs posing for the ancient equivalent of selfies, hieroglyphs. Had Instagram existed, their hashtags would have been #PyramidLife or #JustSphinxThings. Here's Sneferu. This dude loved building pyramids. Bent pyramid, red pyramid. Dude was basically the ancient HGTV star. Then there's Khufu, built the Great Pyramid of Giza. And here's a joke for you. Why did Khufu build the pyramids? Because they were a total pyra midlife crisis thing, celebrating birthdays in the afterlife in style. Introducing Queen Hatshepsut, Egypt's lady boss. She wore a fake beard because fashion, or maybe she was just trying to fit in at the office. Who knows? And here's the boy wonder, King Tut, became pharaoh at 9 and probably asked, "Is it past my bedtime?" during state meetings. Oh, but we've missed the most important pharaoh. Introducing Pharaoh Whisker-Tep, the ultimate ruler of laps and treat jars. Fun fact, cats were revered. Killing one, big no-no. Even accidental kitty squishing got you in deep, Nile-filled trouble. These massive triangular thingamajigs were not, contrary to popular belief, ancient grain storage or UFO landing sites. They were tombs, or as I like to call them, afterlife condos. Hieroglyphics, the OG emojis. Bird, snake, man with a stick might have meant dinners at 6 or avoid the crocodile swan. Ancient Egyptians, they knew how to party. Beer, bread, music. A Friday night at the Nile was probably lit. And as the sun sets over our whirlwind tour, remember, ancient Egypt, it was more than just sand, pharaohs, and oh-so-dramatic mummies. It was a civilization of dreamers, builders, and top-tier cat lovers. Thank you for joining this thoroughly funny tale. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment below. Until next time, stay historically hilarious.